ancient Mesopotamia and the Sumerian culture with Drumming Drummer Jax and Ricky Riffs by L. Ray Crow.
There are stories that say one mighty voice created the world, and some stories say nature's natural elements shaped it. But you know, Ricky, every story says the same thing. The world is full of wonder, and we're meant to listen to it.
Jax, that sounds intriguing. I can't wait to hear more about it. I love learning about nature.
In Genesis, it is mentioned that God created mankind in the image of himself. I wonder what that means. Don't you, Ricky?
I do. Jax, but what are you referring to when you said in Genesis? The rock band Genesis never says that.
You are one of a kind. Genesis is the first book of the Bible, detailing the creation of the world. I'm sure you would be thinking of the rock band Genesis, though. Phil Collins is a musical mastermind.
I was just joking, Jax. I am very familiar with the book of Genesis. In fact, it states in verses 126 and 27 that God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them.
Holy moly, Ricky, I'm impressed. You really do know your scripture. How did you remember that?
The itch to understand the world. I've been taught since I was a young child that if you want to get something done or learn something, it's the action of doing it that gets the job done. So I put myself to work and study every day.
I always look forward to communicating with you, Ricky. You're informative and inspirational in so many ways. I cannot thank you enough for—
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
What is that piece of paper on the ground?
No way.
Is that a treasure map?
Pick it up.
It is a map. It says the ancient ruins of Nineveh, where the sands still tell old stories. Walk the desert's treacherous line to the place where heroes rise. There, the oldest story waits.
Let's go.
Moments later.
Here it is. It's the Epic of Gilgamesh. This is one of the oldest stories ever written. It follows Gilgamesh, the king of the ancient city of Uruk, who, at the beginning, is proud and selfish. To humble him, the gods create Enkidu, a wild man who becomes Gilgamesh's best friend. Together, they go on huge adventures fighting monsters, exploring forests, and proving their strength. But when Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh is heartbroken. His grief sends him on a journey to understand life, death, and what it means to be human. He searches for the secret to immortality, meets a survivor of a great flood, and learns that humans can't live forever, but the good we do, the love we share, and the stories we leave behind are what make us live on. In the end, Gilgamesh returns home wiser, kinder, and finally proud of the city and people he once took for granted.
That is the most profound statement I've heard all year. How enlightening, Jax. Let me take a read. Hey, look. It also says, when Anu had heard their lamentation, the gods cried to Ururu, the goddess of creation. You made him, O Ururu. Now create his equal. Let it be as like him as his reflection, his second self. Stormy heart for stormy heart. Let them contend together and leave Uruk in quiet. So the goddess conceived an image in her mind, which was of the stuff of Anu of the firmament. She dipped her hands in water and pinched off clay. She let it fall in the wilderness, and noble Enkidu was created.
Holy smokes.
In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the goddess of creation, Ururu, conceived an image of mankind that was the likeness of the gods in the sky. In the Bible, God formed an image in his mind and created man and woman in his likeness. In this instance, we can see a similarity between the two texts, illuminating the belief that humanity emerged from the divine image of a god. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, the gods of the sky united in divine sympathy to create humankind. The goddess of air dipped her hand in water, pinched off clay, and let it fall in the wilderness, creating man from the ground. In the Bible, God created man from the dust of the earth, using his imagination, water, and air. He caused it to rain, formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life. The Epic of Gilgamesh illustrates the interaction of natural elements in the formation of humanity. In contrast, the The Bible presents a God who exists apart from nature and the universe, but employs natural elements to create humankind.
There's just one thing, Ricky.
What's that?
The Epic of Gilgamesh is roughly 1,000 years older than the earliest biblical writings, and its flood story predates the Genesis flood narrative by several centuries.